So the most overwhelming, life-changing wilderness experience Susan and I had was when we lived up north. And we were all set to go out on the ice road. Everything was prepared, everything was organized, we had our bags packed, all set. We were supposed to take the truck that belonged to the store out on the ice road. And just as we were getting ready to leave, we got a phone call from the store manager saying, we have a problem. Somebody'd stolen the license plates. So there were no license plates on the car. On the truck, we couldn't go out. And we had our hearts set on going. It had been 10 months since we left the community. And it was a little community with no access. There was only expensive airlines out. And we needed to go. We needed that break. So we decided we're going by Skidoo. We were planning on getting some barrels of fuel while we were out. So we put the barrels on the sled, we got on the Skidoo, and off we went. We get going, and we come across a community member at the check station where they check people's vehicles for bringing any alcohol or anything in, because it's a dry reserve. We get there, and Norman says, take the shortcut. I said, oh, I don't know. He says, oh, no, take the shortcut. And I thought, oh, I shouldn't get off the main road. He says, oh, no, really good shortcut. I said, is there any splits in the trail or any lakes? Because you get onto a lake, you don't know where the trail is on the other side. He says, no, good trail, go on the trail. So we get on, he drives us to where the trail is. We get going on the trail, and we come across a fork in the road. We didn't know which one to take. So there was one that was really well packed and well traveled, and the other one not so much. So we did it. We took that one. We're going along, and then all of a sudden we come across a lake. So we get to this lake, and we went around the perimeter of the lake until we find where the trail went back in. So we go along, we're going along, come across another lake. We follow along, got stuck in the snow. So then we got 3 feet of snow. So we get the Skidoo going again, and off we go, and we're traveling along, get on the trail. Another split in the trail, left or right, we didn't know. So we actually went left. So we went left, we're going along, and as we're racing across the lake, of course we came across another lake. So we're racing across the lake, and it was a big Skidoo, 2 of us and sled. We were going about 130 kilometers an hour, screaming across this lake, and all of a sudden we heard that, and that's the sound of slush under the snow. And then again, and I knew what was going on, and you just got to keep going. And then it bogged right down, and the Skidoo stopped. We get off the Skidoo, and we hit the slush. And the boots were rubber, and then fabric, and then insulation. And they're good up to minus 40 degree boots. They're really good boots. But standing in water, it come right in where all the sewing is between the rubber part of the boot and the insulation, and our boots fill up with water. It's minus 40 degrees Celsius and Fahrenheit. They're the same at that temperature. It's minus 40. It's nighttime, and nobody knows where we are. We get off the Skidoo, and I started to fear. I feared because we didn't have a gun. We're in the area where there's wolves. Wolves and no gun is a very dangerous thing. Minus 40 degrees, standing in slush in the middle of the bush is a dangerous thing. Nobody but the friend who told us to take the shortcut knew where we were. That was a dangerous thing. The people we were coming to visit were expecting us to come by the main road. And we're in the middle of nowhere. We get off the Skidoo, stand in the slush. I take Susan and I would go over to the forest area, and we start making a spot to try to get fire going. Well, the snow's almost 4 feet deep at the edge of the bush. So we start tromping it down and scooping snow out and everything like that. And I did have a flashlight with me, and we're trying to see what we're doing. And it was a beautiful, clear night. And we're trying to get a fire going, couldn't get a fire going. I kept going back to the scooter, and I kept starting it to run the track so that it wouldn't freeze up. I disconnected the sled, and we'd run the track, and I'd get the skidoo about a foot, and it'd be stuck. And then you'd pick up the skidoo and you'd put it over onto the solid snow, get it all ready, go, and it would go an inch. And I just couldn't get it going. And I'd go back and try to get the fire going, we'd go back out again, keep running the track. During that time, you gotta get close to God. Nobody knows where you are. It's minus 40 degrees. It's the middle of the night. Wolves could come and decide to have lunch from us, and we're standing in water. We were going to die. We kind of got close to God at that time. And during that time, all of a sudden, the power and the presence and the glory of God just overtook us. We were so busy with building the summer camp. We were so busy with ministry. We were so busy with those things. We hadn't slowed down to talk to God. We hadn't slowed down to find out what God wanted us doing. And He literally stopped us in our tracks. I saw it as, why is this happening? We're just trying to go down the winter road. But in that time, He got a hold of us, and He got through to us, and He helped me understand. We need to spend time with Him. We were literally in the wilderness, stranded with our lives on the line, and God got a hold of us and got our attention. And the Lord just spoke to both Susan and I at the same time, and He just drew us so much into His presence, and it was so incredible. It was one of the most powerful moments in my life spent with the Lord. And then I got a peace. You wouldn't believe the peace that I got. We're going to be okay. I knew it was going to be okay. And then I'm like, oh Lord, how are you going to take care of us? Because I didn't even know which direction the community we were heading to was. I started praying, Lord, let somebody die. Not us, but somebody die, because then the medevac airplane would fly over, and then I'd know which direction the key is. I started praying for the strength of Samson to pick that skidoo up and take it over to the solid snow. That didn't happen. But I had this peace. And I kept going out and running the track and back to where Susan and I now made like a snow fort, and we were staying warm with each other's body heat, and we're there, and I had this peace that we're going to be okay. The wolves were not afraid. We were not afraid of the wolves. We weren't even cold. It was minus 40. We weren't even cold. My feet were soaking wet. They weren't even cold. I should have lost toes. I didn't. And I got up and I said, I'm going to go run the track. I go walking out there and I start the skidoo, and it's running. By this point, I had a confidence that a search party was coming for us. It had been hours and hours by this point. I had this peace, a search party was coming, it's okay. And we just kept spending time with the Lord during this time. And I went walking out there and I ran the track, and then I hit the kill switch on the handlebar of the skidoo, and I said to the Lord, where's this search party that's coming? And just at that, boom, a beam of light come out of the bush, way over the other side of the lake where we'd come from. And then that beam of light turned into two beams of light. And I quickly started the skidoo again so my tail light would be lit up. And then I got my flashlight and I shone my flashlight at them and shone it. Then I ran over to the solid snow and I shone for them to come to us. And these two skidoos come racing across the lake, and they did this big sweep around us. And then they stopped right on the solid snow where I was. And it was the pastor we were going to visit. Norman, or the friend from up north, he had called ahead to make sure we'd gotten there. And when we didn't, they were putting a search party together on Sachigo Lake end to come looking for us. And the group at the other end was getting ready to come towards us, looking for us. And they'd seen our track in the snow going the wrong direction in that last Y in the road. We'd gone the wrong way. We got on this lake. And when they got there, the guy with the pastor He says, that's a lot of slush. I said, sure is. When they did the big sweep around our skidoo, they saw the mouth of a river. The river was coming into that lake, and that's why the slush was there. If we'd gotten that skidoo going, I was planning on still going in the direction we were going. If that skidoo had gotten going, I would have taken it up to 100, that one goes to 140 kilometers an hour. I would have been up to 140 kilometers an hour and gone straight into an open river. Because moving water doesn't freeze. We would have gone straight into that open water and we would have died. They then took us back. We got to the pastor's house a few hours later, and I poured water out of my boots, and there was at least a half a gallon of water in each boot where my feet were in the minus 40 degrees. We didn't die. We didn't lose any fingers. Nothing. Our Lord took care of us and protected us and spoke to us and drew us into his presence. Isn't God incredible? That's the God that I serve.